Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology Podcasts with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Coming to Dallas, Texas, September 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2018, the Blockchain and Future Tech Expo. This is going to be a gigantic conference of over 5,000 people. We're going to be talking about blockchain and its applications. We're going to be talking about quantum computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and several other future technologies that are poised to and actually changing our lives as we speak. Here's why you should attend. As you may know, early adopters are the ones that investigated and profited from things like the gold rush in the 1800s, from the dot-com boom in the 1990s, from the internet boom in 2005, from the smartphone explosion in 2007, from the real estate boom that ended in 2008, and of course, from the Bitcoin boom that started in 2012. Early adopters act now. They don't wait till later. They go out west first. In their covered wagons, they find the biggest gold nuggets. If you consider yourself an early adopter and you want to find the biggest nuggets, then you owe it to yourself to attend this upcoming conference. Blockchain is going to affect how we control and store our medical data, how we send money around the world, how we bank, and more. But artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and cybersecurity will play a pivotal role in our lives as well. And that's why our next event, September 14th to the 16th at the Dallas Convention Center, is going to have not only 5,000 plus attendees, but will showcase blockchain, AI, cybersecurity, quantum computing, and more. You want to get in on the coming gold rush of future tech and opportunity as an early adopter. Don't be left out. To register, go to bftexpo.com. That's blockchainfuturetechexpo.com. Thank you.
This is the Future Tech Podcast. I'm Alan Thomas, and today we have Andy Zhang with us of Foldercrate. How you doing, Andy?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing great. Thanks, Alan.
Okay, well, so Andy, tell us about Foldercrate. What does the company do?
Yeah, Foldercrate is a Swiss company. It's a service where you have email, cloud storage, calendar, notes, tasks, contacts, and chat in one place. It's supposed to make it easier. You have a better overview. You have freedom, privacy, and security at the same time. Why did we start Foldercrate? Nowadays, you simply don't have you have different services all separated. And the problem is that you either have security or you have privacy or you have freedom, but you can't have all in one. You always have to sacrifice something for something other. And that's the problem we want to solve with Foldercrate. We do this because we don't want to give each other up. We want to have this all in one place. And to make it better, you are supposed to have more features. It's supposed to be easier and secure at the same time. And back then we started with a single cloud storage. It was a simple school project. It simply had a better interface, advanced features, but nothing else. And when we worked on it until 2016, we realized it wasn't really easy. It was quite complicated with all the services you have now. I mean, it's okay if the services focus on one thing, but you have here something, you have there something, and in the end you have dozens of tabs and programs open, and this is just simply very inconvenient.
So really it was kind of born out of a need to pull all of these applications into one place, pull all these tools into one place.
Yeah, for example, many students and businesses, they told us how inconvenient it is to have all the services on different companies. It's just simple. It takes you a lot of time. It makes the overview complicated. Someone asks now, did I already pay there for the next month on this service? For example, Evernote, or I still have to pay for Google Drive. It's always complicated. You don't have the good overview, and even on G Suite, you have it on separate tabs, and then in the end, you just have dozens of other tabs open, and it's just simply not easy.
And so is the ultimate goal of the company to keep that level of security along with the level of organization? I guess, is that fair to say?
Yes, it's basically what we want to achieve is to have security, give security to the people, let them have their privacy, and give them, of course, their freedom. And it's hard. It was a very hard challenge for us to do this, to realize how can we do this, how can we keep the security at the same time without sacrificing the freedom of our customers. But that's what Foldercrate is for. It's supposed to give the people what they all can have at the same time: privacy, security, and freedom. The choice, the options they can have.
And so, as a new user starting with Foldercrate, what is that like? Is it just a sign up page, or is it a lot of forms to fill out first, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's very easy. If you go onto the website, you immediately see on the top of the menu registration and login. If you register, you have an own Foldercrate email. That means you create a new email for the whole service, and then you log in, and the first thing you see is the email itself and all the other services. The only one we currently don't have is the chat. We are still in development in the open beta, but that's coming soon. Later, we also plan to guide the users. That means if the person that signs up will be guided by a short tutorial on how Foldercrate works, what features they can use. And with that tutorial, they also gain free storage, of course. And they will be encouraged to do more of the things. You will have an achievement and reward system to make it more fun. And you can invite people and gain more free storage of that.
Now, as far as the chat feature that you guys are working on, is that going to be similar to, let's say, like a video type of chat, or will it be just text, or will it be a mix of both, or what will that look like?
For now, it will just be chat. If the demand is high, it always depends. We currently listen a lot to suggestions from our customers or users. We get many suggestions from businesses, from teams using Foldercrate, what they want to have, and we have to decide what exactly we want to integrate, because if we integrate too much, it will be a total mess like Outlook, and that's what many people, including us, don't want. You will have a lot of features, and most of them you simply don't use, and it's only total chaos. That's why we are currently only starting with chat. You can invite people in the group chat. The chat history will be saved until 1 month, so we can always go up.
So that's going to be one big goal going forward, is to make sure to not have a bunch of features that maybe wouldn't get used, right?
Yeah, that's also a challenge for us. We want the users to have a lot of features, a lot of things they can use. It's supposed to have more, but at the same time, it's also supposed to be easier and not filled with too much things. And that's why we always have to see what makes sense, what can we combine to make the interface as easy as possible for the user, that even the most unexperienced person can use Foldercrate.
Now, and as far as putting the service together and putting the company together, what are some of the big challenges that you've run into in putting the company together and getting to this point?
Yeah, the one point is, like I told before, to ensure the security and privacy of the people without giving up the freedom. That's why we are always coming up with ideas to give them more options, to let them choose things. For example, let's say the design, or how much gigabyte of storage they want to have. Do they want to use Foldercrate as an individual person, for a business company, or just for a team? We want to give them as much possibility as we can, because that's also what we want, because the services nowadays, they are always so focused on one thing. You simply have to find another service for another thing, and that builds up. You then have a lot of services, and we don't want that. We just want one service for an important thing.
And so in those beginning stages, when you put together the first version of Foldercrate, I mean, how do you get those first users to sign on and try it out and use it, and then you start the process of getting the feedback and all that?
Well, we did it very easy, but it was a lot of work. We tried a lot with word to mouth. I mean, as telling the family, friends, asking people, going to social media on different communities, asking for opinions, and it always spreads around. We didn't even do real advertising and marketing, but that's because we don't have the budget. The financial resources are also a thing we struggle a lot with in Foldercrate. That's since the beginning like that. That's also why we're looking for an investor.
And so you're pretty much focused on the consumers as opposed to, say, groups or organizations or businesses?
Yeah, we want to go all of these ways. But currently, right now, we focus more on the customer, the personal. We want Foldercrate to be well known, to that the whole world knows about us, and that goes the best of our customers. I mean, the thing is, there are a lot of services out there that are simply only for businesses or only for team collaborations. I mean, that's great, but what about the individual person? What if I just want to use for my own without having a team? And that's why we also focus on that currently at the beginning. But later, we will also give the people the benefits of using Foldercrate for teams and customize them for own solutions for their business.
Oh, so when we get to the point of larger groups using it, it can be customized to whatever they need.
Yeah, we will let them customize. I mean, they can always contact us like on other services. We will tailor the service to their wishes and their needs. Foldercrate will also be like that. You will be able to have your own Foldercrate on your own servers as a business, with your own logo, so you are completely independent of us, and that's also what many people, many businesses demand. They don't want to be dependent and coupled up with the service they use, and we want to give them their freedom.
And so we've talked about some of the challenges that you guys have had. What about some of the achievements that you feel like you've had up to this point? What do you think you've done that's really, really well up to this point?
I think the biggest achievement until now is the open beta we made. We started with a simple prototype, simple design. Back then we just had a closed alpha with our best friends or families. And when we found it's ready to be tested by strangers, we put it out. And it was, in my opinion, the biggest achievement because we are basically already on the market. People can see and use us. It's for everyone. And it's also great to see that every time when someone signs up or if people, they write us mails, make suggestions, that there is interest, that Foldercrate is needed. And I think that's why it's the biggest achievement to have the open beta.
And how long do you think you'll stay in beta mode before moving on to the next version?
It depends on the financial resources we get. I think if we can get it done fast, for example, get investment now, then we can, of course, be done already this year. I would say even until autumn we have the full service. But if it goes on like this, we will have a hard time of planning the budget for the development and the server up costs at the same time. So it might even take longer. But we are planned to go out of the open beta this year, at least at the end of this year.
And so in the course of developing the service, I'm sure there's a lot of ideas thrown around at you. Or do you ever get ideas from people where you say, well, that's a little bit too much to do this year or today, but maybe in a later version or maybe in a couple of years we can do that?
Well, yeah, for example, businesses have contacted us already. They wanted to use Foldercrate for their business, and it was a problem because we are just in the development. We don't even have the full product, and we have to tell them come back in 1 or 2 years because it simply will take a long time until we can offer you a full product that's completely optimized and on the performance.
And when you get those types of ideas from businesses or individuals, I mean, is that something where you make a note and kind of put it to the side for a while, or do you just kind of say, well, we just won't think about that at all for a while?
No, we think about every suggestion people give us. We always note them down, and we see how many people more demand it. We also put them together, and if you see there's a lot of demand for this as a special feature, then we will put it in development. Probably half of the whole service it is currently now are suggested by other peoples and not ourselves. That's also what makes Foldercrate. The people, the customers that use us, they have the choice on influencing how Foldercrate will be. Because Foldercrate is supposed to speak for the customer.
So it sounds like out of these requests, I mean, the more you track them, the more it kind of tells you where you need to go next in terms of what the next features are going to be.
Yeah, the best way is always to see what the customers want. In the end, it's what they want.
Okay. And as far as the company itself, what does the plan look like for the next 12 to 24 months? What can we expect to see?
For the next 20 months, I guess, we will, of course, already also have the chat. We are planning to release a big update. It's our big major update since our open beta started. It's named Medusa. It will bring in a new website that's more informative and simpler for people to read. And it's also to us supposed to fix a lot of bugs. Because we currently have a lot of ideas and features we want to develop, but there are still a lot of things we have to finish first, a lot of problems to resolve. And I think in the next few months we can start with the new features, and probably in the next 2-3 months we will probably have way more features than right now.
And you said it'll be called Medusa. Now, will that be an add-on to Foldercrate, or will that be a separate application?
No, it's just simply an update, a name for the update. Because it's such a big update, we gave it names. We always give our updates for the feature now Greek names from the Greek mythology, because it's also nice to orientate after that. So we can always say after this update, something like that changed or something like that added. And why did we name it Medusa? Because Medusa was supposed to be something evil in the Greek mythology, and we added as an update because we want to remove all the evil stuff, and with that we mean all the bugs, the problems that are holding us up from developing new things and going further.
That makes a lot of sense. So what would you say the big takeaway is for our listeners? What do they need to be focused on when thinking about Foldercrate?
Yeah, it's like I said in the beginning, because Foldercrate can give you the freedom you want. You have the possibility and the opportunities to have a lot to customize, and not even beside of the customize, you have more choices. The options on the features and how you want to use Foldercrate makes it simply great. You don't have any limits like the other services that are just made for one single thing. So if you want all that freedom and without sacrificing the security and your privacy, which is a big topic, especially in the moment right now, a lot of media is focused on that as well. Many people are getting aware of the data privacy and how important it is. And that all simply makes Foldercrate great. If you want all that, you should switch to Foldercrate.
And so what's the best way for people to get in contact with the company and get signed up with Foldercrate?
We have a lot of support channels. The most easiest way is if you go on the website. Well, that's currently not available yet, but in a few weeks, it's the live chat. You can contact over live chat. You can write us email over our info mail. And if you log in the service itself, you also have our support mail automatically integrated in your contact. And beside of that, you have a forum as well, where we, the founders and the rest of our team, are always active there. It means if you have questions, you can reach us very easily, even if we are not around.
Okay, great. Well, Andy, I want to thank you for coming on and telling us all about Foldercrate and why everyone should be using it and what to look forward to in the future from it. Just thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Alan.
Coming to Dallas, Texas, September 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2018, the Blockchain and Future Tech Expo. This is going to be a gigantic conference of over 5,000 people. We're going to be talking about blockchain and its applications. We're going to be talking about quantum computing, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and several other future technologies that are poised to and actually changing our lives as we speak. Here's why you should attend. As you may know, early adopters are the ones that investigated and profited from things like the gold rush in the 1800s, from the dot-com boom in the 1990s, from the internet boom in 2005, from the smartphone explosion in 2007, from the real estate boom that ended in 2008, and of course, from the Bitcoin boom that started in 2012. Early adopters act now. They don't wait till later. They go out west first. In their covered wagons, they find the biggest gold nuggets. If you consider yourself an early adopter and you want to find the biggest nuggets, then you owe it to yourself to attend this upcoming conference. Blockchain is going to affect how we control and store our medical data, how we send money around the world, how we bank, and more. But artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and cybersecurity will play a pivotal role in our lives as well. And that's why our next event, September 14th to the 16th at the Dallas Convention Center, is going to have not only 5,000 plus attendees, but will showcase blockchain, AI, cybersecurity, quantum computing, and more. You want to get in on the coming gold rush of future tech and opportunity as an early adopter. Don't be left out. To register, go to bftexpo.com. That's blockchainfuturetechexpo.com. Thank you. You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.